Hello, you're welcome to my channel. Now I have a question here on physics. It says that a body of mass 200 gram is set into circular motion of radius 50 centimeter. If its angular velocity is 3 radians per second, that we should calculate A, its linear velocity, B, its acceleration, and C, the centripetal force on it. Now let's take down the solution. But the usual style I like applying that is very easy for students to understand is to first of all select out the given parameters in the question. So I'll say given. Now we have to start listing out what we are given in the question. The first thing I have there is the mass. The mass is the letter M and is equal to 200 gram. But in physics, the SI unit of mass is not gram, but kilogram. So because of that, we have to convert this mass in gram to kilogram. How do we do that? We divide by 1000. So anytime you are converting from gram to kilogram, you divide by 1000. So 200 divided by 1000 will give us 0.2 kilogram. So we now have the mass. Now, what else are we given? If we read on, it's set into circular motion of radius. So we now have the radius from the question. The radius as 50 centimeter. But you also agree with me that in physics, the SI unit is not centimeter. The SI unit of radius or length or distance is not centimeter, but meter. So when we are given values like this in centimeter, we have to convert it to meter. How do you convert from centimeter to meter? You simply divide by 100. So dividing this by 100 will give us 0.5 meter. So the radius is 0.5 meter. Now, if we continue again in the question, we are given its angular velocity. The angular velocity is represented by this omega. So this is the symbol for omega, which is the angular velocity. And the angular velocity there is 3 rad per second. That's 3 radians per second. So I'm going to write 3 radians per second. Don't forget we are solving question A. That is the first question. So in the first question, we are asked to find the linear velocity, which is v. So we do not know v. So now, the usual style is after listing out everything that you are given in the question like this, including what you are looking for, which is represented by a question mark here, which is what we are looking for. What you now need to do is to think of a formula in physics. Now, a formula that connects these letters that we have identified. It might connect all of them or some of them, but it has to contain V that we are looking for. So you agree with me that the formula that connects V and most of these ones that we have here will give us the linear velocity as V is equal to omega r. Please, this is the way I represent my omega. You have to just take it like that with me. So omega r, that is omega multiplied by r. That is the angular velocity, which is omega, multiplied by the radius. And that will give us the linear velocity v. So that will be equal to, the omega is 3. As you can see here, the omega is 3. When multiply, you don't need to write out the unit, just take only the numbers. And the radius is 0.5. So multiply by 0.5. 3 multiplied by 0.5 will give us the velocity as 1.5. And what's the unit of velocity? This is linear velocity. The unit is meter per second. So this is the velocity of the motion. Now, continue with this circular motion. Please don't forget we are dealing with circular motion here. The B part of the question is asking for acceleration. It's acceleration. So let's move to the B part of the question that is asking for acceleration. So I'm going to write B now. Now, as usual, what we need to do is to look for acceleration, question mark now, or let me write as acceleration. Now, this acceleration is represented as A. We now look for a formula that connects acceleration and these parameters that we have listed out at the beginning. So the formula that connects acceleration and some of them is omega square. Omega square multiplied by the radius. So acceleration is given by omega square multiplied by the radius. So this is the formula for acceleration in circular motion. So omega square will be 3. Don't forget the omega is 3. That is the angular velocity is 3. So we have to square it because in the formula it is squared. So 3 square multiplied by the radius, which is 0.5 multiplied by 0.5. And that will give us 3 square is 9. Don't forget 3 square means 3 multiplied by 3. So 3 square is 9. And 9 multiplied by 0.5 will give us 4.5 as the acceleration. What's the unit of acceleration? That is meter per second square. That is the unit of acceleration. So this is the value of the acceleration of the circular motion. Now, finally, let's look at the C part of the question. Now, what are we asked to look for in the C question? The C says we find the centripetal force on it. So we have to find the centripetal force now acting on the object in circular motion. So the formula for that now is force. Don't forget, centripetal force is the force that keeps a body in circular motion. So now, that force is given by mass times acceleration. We can use the Sir Isaac Newton's second law of motion equation. So F is equals to ma. We can use this formula to obtain our force because we know the value of mass. As you can see from what we listed out, we know the value of mass, and then we have also calculated acceleration, which is 4.5. So we can now use F is equal to ma. Don't forget, you can also use the formula F is equal to mv square over r. This will also give you the centripetal force. You're also free to use this. We know mass, we know the velocity that we have calculated already, and then we know the radius. So we can also use this. We are going to get the same answer. You can try it and see, and let me know in the comment section. Now, simply, we just use F is equal to ma, and that will be equal to the mass, which is what we have here. You can remember the mass that we obtain is 0.2. So the mass is 0.2, as you can see from here. So m is 0.2. So I'm going to write mass 0.2 and then multiply by the acceleration, which is what we just obtained now. The acceleration is 4.5. So multiply by 4.5. So if you multiply 0.2 by 4.5, we are going to get the force, the centripetal force, as 0.9 Newton. Don't forget the unit of force is the Newton. So this is the centripetal force acting on the object. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and also share these videos for others to really learn from it. And then you should subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.